having too many people staff your table is a really bad idea. It looks really intimidating, and it's going to get really confusing when you're trying to approach people that are coming by your table.
Hello, Joe. How are you doing? Would you like to know anything about the Secular Student Alliance?
That's a Student Alliance.
It's a bad idea. Don't do it. Keep it to 2 or 3 people behind your table, or else it'll just be a cluster like this. All right. You're going to need to keep your table clean and presentable. You're trying to look professional and bring new people in. So, you don't want your table to look like this, with trash all over it. Now to get rid of this stuff, you've got to make everything look uniform and professional. If you're going to drink something at the table, keep it behind it somewhere. Or maybe behind some sort of 3-dimensional object so that people can't see it. Remember that this is very much all about image, and you want it to look good. Impress people. One of the first and most important things you need to know about running a great table is actually has to do with you, the individual running the table. You need to look professional and be friendly. You need to smile and engage people and be personable. You don't want to sit behind your table and be distracted by electronics like this. You do not want to be doing this while you're at your table. You need to be actively engaging people that are walking by and being friendly. It's a good idea. Something that you should consider when you're running a table is that you should always have a sign-up sheet or some way of collecting people's information available. You don't want to lose contact with the people that come and find you at your table. You want to keep some sort of information on them. Also, if your group doesn't already have business cards, you can get them from the Secular Student Alliance for free at secularstudents.org/business cards. You can see here, these are my personal business cards. You want these to be available so that somebody can keep your contact info in a small, easily pick-upable form, and then they can pull them out of their pockets later and remember, hey, those people were pretty cool at that table. It's another way that you can potentially retain people that show up at your table and ask questions. All right. There are a number of things throughout the year that you can do theme tables with a theme. For example here, one of the most popular events that we do every year is Ask an Atheist Day. You can see we have 2 theme stickers here that you can get with our tabling supplies for National Ask an Atheist Day. If you want to do something on that particular day, the 3rd Thursday of April, you want to get those supplies for us. We also have, this past year, we had a poster. You can keep these on your table as well or promote them throughout your campus for the event. Other than that, another very popular theme table is Darwin Day. And for example here, we have the Darwin fish stickers that we offer around the time of Darwin Day, which is in February. If you want to do that, basically you just want to be prepared for whatever theme table you're going to do and have what materials you need. In fact, back when I was a student, I had a bunch of fake beards for everyone who was tabling for Darwin Day in the style of Darwin's big bushy beard. He really was a pioneer in facial hair. So use any kind of creative ideas for tabling if you're going to be doing it with a theme. So, there you go. One of the most important things you need to have for tabling is your tabling supplies. They are available for free from the Secular Student Alliance at secularstudents.org/tabling supplies. They come in a handy-dandy box. You can get them updated every semester to every year as you need. And you can see right here that for free, for no cost at all, you could have a pretty impressive looking tabling setup. You'll want to request them at least 2 weeks before you're actually going to be doing your tabling so that you will have them in plenty of time. A good thing to have at your table is some sort of bucket or hat or other kind of money receptacle for donations. You can either collect donations to help your group's operating costs, or, more preferably, do something with a service organization or a charity. In this case, I would highly recommend the Leukemia Lymphoma Society's Light the Night Walks. They're really easy to work with, and you can check out our activity packets on them on the secularstudents.org website. Basically, it doesn't take up a whole lot of room on your table, it looks good, and you'll be able to raise money over the course of the semester as you're tabling. An easy one, one thing that you have to do for your table is actually have a table reserved. If you don't have a physical table, you're going to have a really difficult time tabling. Most universities have a reservation process that through the student center usually, or wherever your school tables for organizations, that's usually pretty simple to do. You're going to want to check with your student life representative or similar if you're not sure where that process is, but usually it's very simple and most organizations wind up doing it at some point. But it's something you're going to want to plan at least 2 weeks out just to make sure that there's not a huge reservation turnaround, or else you can get burned pretty bad. An important aspect of tabling is that you're going to have to answer a lot of questions from people that are otherwise not particularly educated about atheism or science or secularism in general. It helps to have a diversity of people behind your table with different interesting backgrounds of knowledge. That way you can answer a wider variety of questions. As you can see though, I'm standing alone at this table. So I'm going to go over something, how to deal with a strange question. Basically, it's okay to say I don't know, but try to say I don't know intelligently. Okay, so like, you're atheists? But if I can not willfully change the color of my hair follicles, then God has to exist. I don't quite understand your question, but if you're interested in how hair color works, I would suggest reading up a little bit on genetics. There are a lot of professors on this campus that specialize in that. You can go ask them, or some of my other members of the group here should be here shortly that specialize in biology, microbiology, and all that kind of fun stuff that could answer this question much better than I can. So yeah, I would either wait around a little while or read up on some genetics. So why do you hate God? Do you worship Richard Dawkins? Well, we don't worship Richard Dawkins or Satan or anybody else. Sort of the idea that we're atheist or secular or agnostic is that we don't worship any kind of deity or otherwise. And on the other one, we really don't hate God because we don't believe that God exists. So it's kind of hard to hate something that we don't believe exists. That is sort of a popular stereotype of what an atheist or agnostic is someone who's just really angry at their God for injustices. But really, it's more of a we don't think that there's enough evidence or proof to say that a God does exist, so we sort of stay with the neutral negative position that no God does exist. So you're atheist, so that means you believe in evolution. So let me ask you this. If evolution is true, why are there still monkeys? You're gonna hear this question. It's really common. I'd be surprised if you don't hear it at some point. It has a pretty easy answer, but you're gonna want to be prepared for it. Basically, you want to explain how lineage and sort of common ancestry works. Basically, we didn't come from monkeys, we came from a common ancestor with monkeys. Sort of a proto-monkey / proto-human. Explaining that's going to be a little difficult because if somebody's sort of using that sort of apologetics, anti-evolution stuff, they're probably not going to believe anything you say anyway. So don't expect to totally change their mind, but try to give the most sort of elegant answer that you can. Don't condescend. That's really the biggest thing with this kind of question. This is clearly from someone who's creationist, is that you don't want to come off as demeaning because that'll sort of impact your general image with people from that sort of background. And you don't want to come off as snarky or arrogant. You want to be as friendly as possible, even if you are answering something that is really, really aggravatingly ignorant of science.